Good morning, students. Today our topic is types of software, and in our previous lecture we already discussed about system software. So in this lecture our topic is application software. So what is application software? Application software is a set of programs necessary to carry out operations for a specified application. For a specified application. This is written two times. So application software is a set of programs necessary to carry out operations for a specified application, and application software can further be subdivided into three basic categories. These are general purpose application software, second is specific purpose application software, and third is customized software, that is also called as bespoke software or tailor-made softwares. So these are the three basic categories of an application software. So application software are nothing but only it is also a set of program like other software, such as system software, but they carry out operations for a specified application. That's why they are called the application software. And system software, as we know, that are designed basically to basically for systems operations. So that's why they are called the system software, and application software program carry out operation for a specified application. That's why they are called the application software. And remember the three basic categories: general purpose, specific purpose, and customized software. So let us take them one by one. First of all, general purpose application software. General purpose application software basically is a sometimes also known as off the shelf, sometimes also known as off the shelf is a sort of the software that you use at home and school. So a general purpose application software is known as the off the shelf, the sort of the software that you use at home and school. So mostly software that we use at the home and schools are called the general purpose software. And general purpose application software is a type of application that can be used for a variety of tasks. It is not limited to one particular function. That is very important. It is not limited to one particular function. And some major and most common categories are word processing software, spreadsheet and database management systems, graphics, multimedia and presentation applications. So most of these softwares we use at our home or our school. So these all are called as the general purpose application software. They are categorized into the category of general purpose application software. And this type of software can be used for variety of tasks, and it is not limited for a particular function, for a one particular function. So these are called the general purpose application software. So first of all, what is word processing software? As the name says, that word processing, so it processes the word, and that's why they are called a word processing software. A word processor is an application program, and that allows, when we say about the processing of word, it means entering, editing, formatting and printing of a text. Entering, editing, formatting and printing text. So a word processor is an application program that allows entering, editing, formatting and printing text. And some popular word processor are WordPerfect and AviWord, which is a free software. So these are the word processor software. So word processor software basically used for entering, editing and formatting and printing text. And these are the some word processor software: WordPerfect and AviWord. Next is electronic spreadsheet. So an electronic spreadsheet is a program that accepts data in a tabular form and allows us to manipulate, calculate, analyze data in a desired manner. So it accepts data in the tabular form. That is the meaning of a spreadsheet, such as MS Excel, and they allows users to manipulate, calculate, and analyze data in a desired manner. And some popular spreadsheet packages are Excel is one of them, in which we can apply any formula or analyze the data, make different types of charts and graphs, and such other softwares are Lotus, OpenOffice, Carto Pro, or Google Docs. That is online. So it is online available, Google Docs. So these are the electronic spreadsheets. So electronic spreadsheets, one thing very important, that they accept the data in a tabular form and allows us to manipulate, calculate, and analyze data in a desired manner. Third is presentation software. The presentation software that can create professional looking visual ads is called the presentation graphics software. And presentation graphics software provides predefined background and sample layouts to assist in the creation of computer driven slide shown, which is in the combination with the data projector. So two important things is there. First of all, it presentation softwares, there is a concept of slides by which we can present our data, and data projector is used whenever we present our data using presentation softwares. And second important thing is that uh, there are predefined background and layouts, so we don't need to create layout and background for our slides. There are predefined background and layouts which we have to use, and using data projector with presentation software, we can present our data in a very professional manner. So that is the use of presentation software. You also aware of the fact of a PowerPoint presentation, that is also a presentation software, and it's a part of MS Office. So it is a program basically, and a part of a software named MS Office. And fourth is database management software, DBMS. Now there are um, three important terms. First of all, data. Second is database, and third is database management software. So we already aware of the fact of what is a software. Software are basically logical entities. So what is data? First of all, data is a raw facts, figures, statics which we can insert into our computer system is called the data. So raw material is called the data. So whatever we insert into our computer system and computer process it is called the data. After processing, whatever we get is called the information. That is another thing. But data may be a symbol, it may be a letter, or it may be a special symbol also. So or a string. So data may be raw facts, figures, statics is called the data. So basically it is unprocessed, and when CPU process it, CPU provides us information. We already know about the block diagram of computer system where the concept of data information is already given. So what is database? Now database is interrelated data. Interrelated data means a collection of data which are interrelated to each other. For example, if we say that roll number and name are interconnected to each other or interrelated to each other, because if someone is if some student have a roll number 5 and suppose its name is Amit, then 5 then his attendance can be make there we have two options for his attendance, whether we call uh, whether we call his name or whether we call his roll number. So both are the same because they are interconnected to each other. So such type of data in which data is interconnected to each other, interrelated to each other, is called the database. So interrelated data is called the database, and database is basically maintained in the forms of different tables. So now database management system. So data is raw facts, figures, and statics. Database is interconnected data, and a database management system basically is a software that manage our database. So software that manage our database is called the database management software. Very simple definition. Software. Now there are three terms: database management software. So software that manage our database. Manage means retrieve, update, delete, whatever. These are all are called the database management techniques. So software that manage our database is called the database management system. Now data. Look at this point given here. Database refers to the collection of logically related data. It is already discussed here. Okay, now this is fine. And a DBMS is a computer program or a collection of a computer programs that provides necessary tools to create and manipulate the data in the database. And some popular DBMS packages are OpenOffice.org base, MS Access, Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server. These all are called the DBMS or database management software. So three important points regarding to database management software. First of all, database refers to a collection of logically related data. Second, a database is a computer program or a collection of a computer program that provides necessary tools to create and manipulate the data in the database. And third, there are few important database packages such as OpenOffice.org base, MS Access, and Oracle. And some others are SQL Server, MySQL. So these are all are the famous DBMS. Next is specific purpose application software. Now these all are the general purpose software, and we had discussed about all general purpose application software here. As we know that application software can be divided into three basic category: general purpose, specific purpose, or customized software. And in general purpose there are four different categories: word processing, spreadsheet, database management system, and fourth one is graphics, multimedia, and presentations applications. These are related to basically multimedia. Multimedia means a combination of more than one media, and here medium is text, audio, video. So whenever we design an application using combination of more than one media, it's called a multimedia application. And presentation applications is already discussed here. So these all are the general purpose application software. And our next topic is specific purpose application software. So specialist application packages are generally not available in shops, and they often have to be purchased directly from the manufacturer or a specialist firm. And these applications are designed to be used for specific tasks such as such as company payroll, stock control system, appointment systems, and e-commerce sites, etc. And the applications have not been written for a specific company. They have been developed by a manufacturer to try to provide all the features that they anticipate a company need. So as the name suggests, specific purpose application software, they are designed for a specific purpose first of all. And second thing, they are not directly purchased from a shop, and they can be directly purchased from a manufacturer or a specialist firm. And these are designed for a payroll, stock control systems, appointment systems appointment systems and e-commerce site, etc. and these are not written for a specific company. They are written for they are written for a specific purpose, not for a specific company. So they have been developed by a manufacturer to try to provide all the features that the anticipated company need. So according to the according to the purpose, not according to the company. Um, Next, specific purpose application software. Now, some of them are specific purpose application software. For accounting management software, so accounting management software basically used for various financial application such as general ledger, account payable, account receivable, fixed assets, budgeting, project accounting, spend manager management, etc. So these specific purpose application software fulfill the accounting needs. And second is reservation systems. And these softwares are used for reserving tickets for railways or airways and also for movies, events, etc. So reservation systems are basically used for reserving tickets for railways and airways and for movies or particular events. And they are designed for this purpose, and they are not designed for a specific company. So they are purpose based, not company based. Next is HR. HR means human resource. So HR management software. So a human resource management system is also called as HRMS, is a software application that combines many human resources function like including payroll, recruiting, training, performance, okay, and performance analysis, review. So for this purpose, HR management software is used. So HR management means human resource management. So uh, as we know that every company or every firm have some employees, and data for employees uh, is managed using HR management softwares regarding their payroll, recruiting and training, whatever. These are the uh, performance analysis or review. So these all functions are carried out by HR management softwares. Next is inventory control systems. So basically inventory control management software helps to create invoices, purchase order, printing, payroll receipt, and all these type of activities can be managed by inventory control system. So this is also called as specific purpose application software. So these are the four specific purpose application software. One is used for accounting, second is for reservation, and third is for HR management, and fourth is for inventory control system. So these are called the specific purpose application system. And always remember that specific purpose application software designed for some specific purpose, and they are not purchased directly from a shop, but they are purchased from a manufacturer or a specialist firm, and they are not company centric, they are purpose centric. Purpose regarding to the accounting, purpose regarding to the reservation, or it may be regarding to HR management, or it may be regarding to the inventory control system. So that's why they are called the specific purpose application software, and they fulfill our need or our application. So that's why they are called they are categorized into the application software, and they fulfill specific purpose, and they're designed for a specific purpose. So they are called the specific purpose application software. Now I think it is clear to all of you. Now when we compare about general purpose and specific purpose application software, one thing should be remembered that general purpose application software are basically uh, used for some general purpose which we used in our school or in our office, such as database, such as spreadsheet, such as word processors, etc. So these are called the general purpose, generally used in our life. And specific purpose, they are designed for some specific purpose. They are not basically used by every person, and so these are called the specific purpose. A specific purpose regarding to accounting or reservation or HR management or inventory control systems, and they are designed for some specific purpose, not for a particular person or for a particular company also. So these are called the specific purpose application software. Next is a customize or bespoke software. This is also called a tailor-made software, as the name suggests, tailor-made software. So this type of a software is a tailor-made software according to the user requirement. So sometimes sometimes we have to create a software according we need to create a software according to the user requirement, and that type of software is called the customized software, because it is basically according to the purpose of the users. So that is called the customized, and this type of software is developed to meet all the requirement specified by the particular user. It is basically user centric. It means whatever a user or customer want from us, we design a software according to them. So it is called the customized, or customized is also called as bespoke software, or sometimes it is called the tailor-made software. And this is known as tailor-made or bespoke software also, of course. Next, the company will get the exact software that they need. In case of general purpose and specific purpose, it is not so. They are designed for some specific purpose, or they are generally used, but customized software is designed for a particular person or a particular firm, and it doesn't design for many number of peoples or firms. It is basically a people centric. So that's why they are called the customized, or also called the tailor made, because it is basically people or user centric according to the users. So it meets all the requirement of a particular user. So according to the user, whatever he wants in a software, or whatever so software is designed for that purpose. So it is called the customized or bespoke software, and the company will get the exact software that they need, and the software will work exactly how they want to work. Most important thing is that in application software and general purpose software, sometimes user basically uh, compromise to his requirements. But in case of customized and bespoke software, it is not so. Software is made according to the user's need, so that is called the customized or bespoke software. And its advantage: company will get exact software first of all, and the software will work exactly how they want to work. And customized bespoke software disadvantages are also there. It takes a long time to develop such a system, between a few months to a year. So generally general purpose software and specific purpose software available, and uh, we not need to wait for them. But as far as customized bespoke software is concerned, they takes a long time to develop, and it costs a great deal of money. Second thing is cost a great deal of money, because they are user centric or for a particular user. So for for this purpose, for since they are user centric, so they cost a great deal of money to develop such type of system. And the company may need to employ a team of people such as business analysts, programmers, testers, to design a bespoke software, customized software. Now this is all about the customized software. Here there is a small diagram here, you can easily see that. So first of all, when a customized software development process is given here, as the name says, customer software or bespoke software it is also known as. So it is also known as customer and bespoke software. So it is designed according to the use of the customers. First of all, when we want to design a customer software according to the customer need, customized software according to customer needs, first of all there is a process of analysis, in which a complete analysis of a software is there, in which we find out the feasibility study, what the customer actually wants from us. So these are also written in a document called the SRS report, system requirement specification, and it is a part of a software development life cycle. And after that, when analysis phase is complete, then second phase begins, and it is called the design phase. We actually design the software in design phase, and after that, when design is complete, then we implement, or we actually write a code for that. That means here the programming parts begins here. So we write a code for that customized software, and after once a code is written there, then it is not complete yet. We have to test that software whether it is fit for each and every condition whatever we want. So testing phase is there, in which we our focus is to find out an error. So we intentionally execute a program or a software to find out an error, because our aim is to make a software error free, or means bug free. Bug is also called as error. So bug free or error free, that is the part of testing phase. And then after, there is a phase of maintenance. So maintenance phase is there, and actually when maintenance phase is there, we maintain the software time to time, sometimes according to the need of the hardware, sometimes according to uh, new technology. We have to maintain our system of software. So these are the basic five phases, and there is one more phase, planning. So planning comes before analysis, in which we plan a software. And when we plan a software, then after we go to analysis phase, and after that design phase is there, and then implementation phase is there, testing and maintenance phase is the last one. So we start from planning phase, where we have to plan that how many number of people is required, and how it will take time. And after that complete analysis, it is beneficial for us or not. It takes a feasibility study. So these are all are part of the SDLC. You know that SDLC, system development life cycle. So it is a basically life cycle of a software or a system, to how to develop a system or a software. So it starts from a planning phase. After that we go to analysis phase. After that we design a software, and then we write a code for it, that is called the implementation phase. After that, there is a testing phase, in which our focus is to find out an error in a software or program. And maintenance is last phase of SDLC. So these are the different phase of a of a customized software. So this is also called the tailor-made software, because they are user centric, and they are according to the user's requirement. So they are also called the customized software or tailor-made software, or sometimes called a bespoke software. So and in examination, this is asked in any out of these names, that define a bespoke software, or define a customized software, or what is a tailor-made software. So one thing should be clear, that a tailor-made software or customized software or bespoke software are basically user centric. And most of the software engineering basically builds, or most of the software companies firms basically are basically work on customized software, because they are user centric according to the customer's needs. And they process and they follow a life cycle of SDLC, in which different phases are there. Actually all software required SDLC phases, but in this customized software, mm, there is evolution time to time, that it is according to the user need or not. And in other software, such as general purpose or specific purpose, they are designed for a particular purpose, or a particular type of application is there. So here, customer feedback or customers requirement, we study customer requirement in detail, and try to make a software which is meet the requirement of exact requirement of a user. So they are user centric. So there is an analysis phase and the planning phase is there, in which take a long time to develop a software. And since they take a long time to develop a software, and also they are user centric, so they are not generally used for other firms and companies also. And second thing is, that is a biggest advantage, it costs a great deal of money, because it is a particular user centric. So uh, all the cost of that software will be paid by a particular user or a certain user. And of course it takes a long time. And for this purpose, to design this type of software, company wants a business analyst. A business analyst work is to analyze work on analysis phase, and programmers works basically on implementation phase, and testers works on basically testing phase. So this is called as a customized software. Now, I think uh, software, different types of softwares are over here. So there are two types of software: application software and system software. So both are discussed in last 2 days, um, and the application software is already discussed in this video. I hope you like this video. This is chapter number 4 and it is over here. So thanks for watching this video.